The Boston Celtics have so many options this year. I mean, options are plentiful. They have so many good players, so many assets they could deal, they could use, whatever. I mean, listen to this. Terry Rozier had 28 points 2 nights ago. And Jaylen Brown in the same night had 27 points. They're both 24 and 21. That's unbelievable. The Boston Celtics future is so, so bright. Now, the biggest possibility, the biggest option that the Boston Celtics have this offseason is this. Do the Boston Celtics want to commit to Terry Rozier or Kyrie Irving? Because they're both point guards. Kyrie Irving is a perennial all-star. And you can argue, Terry Rozier, scary Terry, he's really stepped up. He's played incredibly well in the playoffs. He's really filled in the role of Kyrie Irving quite well. And he's done a really good job as a point guard. And I think I want to compare them. I want to go through their kind of pros and cons and talk about should the Celtics commit to Terry Rozier or Kyrie Irving, because I think it's an interesting debate. You could have a new, cheaper, younger point guard next year, or you could have Kyrie Irving. So first of all, again, Terry Rozier is 24. He's 24 years old. He has 2 years left on his deal. At the end of his deal, he will be a restricted free agent. And Terry Rozier is really cheap. He's $3 million this year. He'll be $4 million the next year. Terry Rozier's contract is like nothing. It's very, very nice. Really good for the cap room. In contrast, Kyrie Irving, he's only 2 years older. He's 26 years old. And he also has 2 years left. But at the end of 2 years, Kyrie Irving will be an unrestricted free agent. I think that means he can kind of look around, go anywhere he wants. And Kyrie Irving is extremely expensive. Kyrie Irving, you're paying him $20 million next year, $21 the next year after that. That's a huge, huge difference for the cap room. Now, if you look at their stats, this year Kyrie Irving shot 49%. Terry Rozier shot 39%. That's in the regular season. In the postseason, Scary Terry shot 42%. And from three-point range, Kyrie Irving's 40%. Terry Rozier's, regardless of playoffs or regular season, Terry Rozier shot 38%. Points per game, Kyrie has 24. Rozier has 17. They have about the same amount of assists. To actually be kind of surprised, Terry Rozier averages 5.8. Kyrie Irving only averages 5.1. And free throw percentage is comparable. Kyrie Irving shoots 88%. Terry Rozier shoots 82%. They're not far off. I mean, you could really argue that they're comparable. Terry Rozier is a slightly lower production version of Kyrie Irving. You get less production, like barely a little bit, but he's way cheaper. So you get most of the production of Kyrie Irving for significantly less cost. Now remember, Kyrie Irving also has injury concerns, and that's a factor. If you're the Boston Celtics, you're looking, we could commit to Kyrie Irving, but he's expensive and he gets hurt seemingly every single year. This decision for the Boston Celtics reminds me of when the Cowboys had to decide between Tony Romo or Dak Prescott. The Cowboys could have chosen the expensive, older, veteran, highly productive Tony Romo, or they decided what they did do is go to the younger, cheaper, maybe slightly less productive, but still productive Dak Prescott. I do believe it's a very similar decision. Now, the benefit if the Celtics decide to commit to Terry Rozier is Kyrie Irving is a huge asset you could use to trade. You could basically go get you can get a lot of good players for Kyrie Irving. He's a great, great player. You got to steal with him last year. He maybe have injury concerns, but there might be a franchise out there that says, we'll give you a really good player. Like, for example, the Spurs need to find a way to get rid of Kawhi Leonard. How better a way to get rid of Kawhi Leonard than bring in Kyrie Irving? That's a trade that could happen. Now, I would not trade Kyrie Irving. I would not, for many, many reasons. Here's the big one. I've talked about Kyrie Irving's injury concerns. And I think you want Kyrie Irving in the finals and the end of the season, in the playoffs, Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals, tonight, a game like tonight. You really, really want Kyrie Irving because when you need a bucket at the end of a game, he can give you one. And Terry Rozier simply cannot just simply get you a bucket. Kyrie Irving is better than anybody else at getting a bucket when you need him. Maybe not better than anybody else, but certainly better than anybody the Celtics could bring in next year. They're not going to bring in Kevin Durant. They're not going to bring in Steph Curry. They're not going to bring in, who else is there? I mean, Kyrie Irving he's not going to bring in James Harden For what the Celtics have an opportunity to have, Kyrie Irving is the best scorer they could possibly bring in. Now, the only way I believe to get Kyrie Irving to the end of the season, because Kyrie Irving is, let's be very, very clear, Kyrie Irving gets injured every single year. It seems like other than his years with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving always has an injury concern. So how do you get Kyrie Irving to the playoffs? How do you keep Kyrie Irving healthy until Game 7 of the NBA Finals? You need to lean on Kyrie less. You need to use Kyrie Irving less. Well, hey, guess what? If you're not using Kyrie Irving, you now have Terry Rozier. I would not get rid of Terry Rozier. I would keep Kyrie Irving, and I would use both of them. Both of them. If you can get good production out of both, that's amazing. That's fantastic. You have a great point guard for rotation 1 and a great point guard for your second rotation. You can lean on Kyrie less. You can keep him healthy till later in the year next year. And Terry Rozier can play more minutes next year and apparently be pretty productive because he's not bad. That is how I would do it. I would not get rid of Kyrie Irving, and I would not get rid of Terry Rozier. I think you need both working in tandem to keep both of them healthy so they're both there at the end of the year in the finals when you need them. Because you want Kyrie Irving in the playoffs. That is the big, big thing you need to do. How can we keep Kyrie Irving healthy throughout the entire year? I think the answer is you lean on Terry Rozier a little bit more. But either way you look at it, man, the Boston Celtics have so many options. They have such good young assets, such good young players. I mean, look, Marcus Smart is 24. Jaylen Brown, he had 27 points the other night. He's 21 years old. I believe in his second year. That's unbelievable. Terry Rozier is 24. Al Horford's 31, but he's fantastic. 31's not that old in the NBA. He'll be 32 next year. He's got a couple good years left. Gordon Hayward's young. Kyrie Irving's another great player. The Celtics are stacked. And the truth is, the Celtics can pretty much go get whoever they want. They have good assets. They have Kyrie. They could trade Al Horford. I would not. But if they want to go get Kawhi Leonard, that's entirely possible. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the Boston Celtics go out and do this offseason. I would not do much. I really wouldn't. I think Gordon Hayward will be back. He'll be great. I think Kyrie Irving will be fantastic. You know that you have Marcus Smart is young. Jaylen Brown. They have Jason Tatum, who's only a rookie. They're in such good shape for next year. And if you want to make a trade, you want to go get someone, the Boston Celtics can basically get whoever they want. I'm very, very excited for the future of the Boston Celtics. They have a ton of options, and I like pretty much every option you could come up with for the Boston Celtics. I think they're in very, very good shape. I love their future. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, if you like it, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube. And if you really like this podcast, help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about the show on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show.